The Nerdgasm Talk podcast is brought to you by Spaces Philly. If you love podcasts, go to spacesphilly.com where you can check out Lulu and Pop, Both Sides, Turntables, Jump Thought Super Tongue, and the Nerd Coalition's very own No Gimmicks Needed. Visit spacesphilly.com today. And now, feel the Nerdgasm.
You got the letter opener? Because I see a Marvel check right here.
I do see a Marvel check this week.
It's about time. It's about time. Nia Dacosta, the director for Candyman, is going to direct the sequel for Captain Marvel. I know you have a big opinion about this, so I'm going to let you go first.
I'm going to say right off the bat, I'm psyched for it. And here's the thing. She ain't got a catalog for me to be hype about. She did that one horror movie with, like, what's it called, Into the Woods with Tessa Thompson. But she doesn't have a big catalog. And then once again, we haven't seen Candyman yet. But you know who probably did see Candyman? Kevin Feige. And he probably was just like, oh. And then Jordan Peele backing her up too. And he's probably like, oh. They obviously see something that we don't see.
Right.
Yeah. So once again, like I said, Candyman hasn't come out. Candyman should have been out by now, but once again, pandemic. So now with Candyman coming out and her getting that praise, like it could be a thing. And look, you have to sit there and think about it, guys. Some of the best directors came from horror movies. Look at Sam Raimi. Look at James Wan. Those guys did short budgeted horror movies and came and made big blockbuster successes. James Wan took Aquaman and actually made $1 billion movie. Aquaman. But you know what James Wan was known for before that? Saw.
I didn't know that. Yes,
James Wan did the very first Saw movie, which by the way is a It by the way, is a damn good movie. But I'm just saying. But yeah, he did Saw, and then he's basically. I think he did just the first Saw, and then after that, he did Dead Silence, and Dead Silence was good too. And I was like, oh man, he's a decent horror director, but nobody gives horror any love. Period.
Right. Unless you're a comedian.
Unless you're a comedian. And then all of a sudden he comes out and does big blockbusters, and then he took Aquaman and didn't make it a joke and turned it into actually something. And whether how you feel about Aquaman or not, the man made $1 billion. But now look at this. Look at Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi did The Evil Dead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then Sam Raimi made one of the great superhero movies of all time in Spider-Man 2.
Arguably the best superhero trilogy.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then now he's getting the role for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So once again, you have this history of other directors and Oliver Stone and more come to mind, and Steven Spielberg, stuff like that, who started out with, like, look at Steven Spielberg now. Remember, he did Jaws.
Right.
So that's what got me psyched about it. Like, wait a minute. A lot of small developer horror movie directors have done these kind of projects, came up, and then you give them a big blockbuster on top of that too. And besides, I think that with her being a woman and being a black woman, and I'm not going to say that Captain Marvel's friend and her daughter will get all the shine in the movie. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying because I'm like, okay, hold on there. But what I'm saying is, I think she's going to give us a different vision of how to sell Captain Marvel without pandering. Because in my personal opinion, I thought that Captain Marvel was more on the pandering side, and there was not a lot of authenticness about it.
Right. Especially when we made that argument about Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel. Where Wonder Woman felt fully authentic.
Exactly. And there's some things I'm like, I understand you want to get the message across, but I prefer a natural message like what Black Panther did opposed to a pandering message, because to me pandering is never sincere,
right,
in my opinion. So I think that she can bring a different, like I said, I haven't seen much of her work to say that she will bring a different direction to it, but it's good to see something different in it.
Right.
A different director, maybe a different vision, and maybe a way to work everything out, and then because like I said, people weren't really a fan of Captain Marvel when Captain Marvel came out. That was like one of the really first MCU movies that was mixed. That was like Man of Steel mixed. You know what I'm saying? And the MCU movies never really experienced something like that. But her coming out and doing something like that, I mean, for me, I'm excited about it.
Now, I to me, I got to see a trailer because I didn't like Captain Marvel as a movie that much at all. So I could trust the director, and I also am curious on how much say does she has in this movie, because we do know how much say will she have in this movie, because we know some directors try to come in movies, and like Edgar Wright tried to come in Ant-Man, but he left because his vision wasn't going to be fulfilled. So I will hope her vision is going to be, the forefront. Megan McDonald, the story editor of WandaVision, is going to be penning a script for this movie, and of course Brie Larson is coming back. So I have good hopes for it. I need to see a trailer to be convinced.
I understand that.
I can't get too excited yet.
With Lay Sketch joining us on the podcast as well, I would like to get her opinion as well to how she feels as though Nia Dacosta.
Nia Dacosta.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was turning the mic so you can. I know you.
You struggling. I mean, I'm happy for her. I'm just glad to see like more Black women getting a spot, like major spots in Hollywood. Right now, because we really don't have that many Black women directors, and the only one that has any notoriety at this time is Ava DuVernay.
Yeah,
right.
There are others, but right now she's the only one.
Homegirl that did God, she has a short haircut. She's a lesbian.
Who?
The Black director. Did she direct the Hate You Give? Or she did one of those empowerment movies recently. God, what's her name? Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when I say her name.
Very confused.
I don't know names.
I'll go look up the Hate You Give and maybe go get her. But I'm just saying in general, it's nice to see some more diversity, because people gonna get tired of hearing the word diversity. But having diversity in spaces like Hollywood means that you get different perspectives and different stories, which I think is always good.
Right.
So that's great. I'm gonna agree with Swag on this one and say I hope that they what do I want to say? I want to see a trailer first for Captain Marvel 2, and the other thing I was trying to say was I hope Candyman is good. That was my brain just shut off at that moment. It was a struggle, but I'm hoping Candyman is great. I want to see that first because I didn't see her other movies. She really only has 2 movies, and one of them hasn't even been released yet. But as far as Captain Marvel goes, I want to see a trailer also because Captain Marvel was like, I saw it because it's in the timeline.
Yeah, same here.
So that's that on that. Like, ugh.
I would like to see what Anthony Mackie thinks now, because after what he said about diversity in Marvel films.
Well, I mean, I am glad that this is a step in the right direction.
Right, yeah. And I feel like this wouldn't have happened if he didn't say anything.
Listen, and also what he's saying, I hope that people don't think this is the only action item. Like, you can't, somebody can't call you to the table and be like, this is what's wrong, and then you'd be like, all right, well, we slapped a Black woman on the next movie, so we straight, right? It's when he said that there was no diversity, it wasn't just about directors. Who's working behind the scenes? Who are you employing?
Right.
There are literally tons, and not at the moment, but there are tons and tons of people who work on movie sets and work their way up through working on movie sets. So if you're not getting that opportunity, it's the same thing as an internship. And somebody said, I want to say a couple months ago I saw this and I was like, damn, that's kind of true. When you're in college and your education is completely paid for, like your parents are paying for it, you don't have to work, they're providing for you, you can afford to go and get an internship and work for free and get that experience over the person who has to work their way through college because they come from a lower income or middle class family who can't afford to finance their entire education. So it's kind of the same deal when it's like, all right, so you're coming in, on the set and working your way up. If you don't get those opportunities at all, it's even harder for you to get the foot in the door.
Right.
So, I mean, I hope they keep with this trend.
Lena Waithe.
Lena Waithe. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking of.
That's
okay. Gotcha.
That's why it was such a. When you said she's a lesbian, I was like, okay, but I get. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying because she rocks the whole cool short hairstyle.
Yeah, she has the cool short hairstyle. But yes, I know what you're talking about now. Yes. Her and Ava are two of the only really big like directors right now, and Lena directs things, but I feel like she jumps in.
She's
more production.
Yeah, that's how. So my apologies out to everybody.
It was just the way you so abruptly described it that we was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I just didn't know. I was like, I don't know where you're headed.
Yeah, and there are, the vets out there, that have worked in Hollywood, but I would love to see some new fresh faces, to spice it up a bit.
Right.
Even though if I can say Ryan Coogler is coming back, I will wait.
Listen,
yeah.
I hope.
I hope so.
Please
too.
just get somebody else to direct that second movie. Don't do that.
To-
Get somebody for the CGI though. But the movie, the directing.
I don't think it was his fault with the CGI. They just got to put money
I just
into
said get somebody. I didn't say him. I just said somebody else. Whoever did it. Replace them.
We had to make this whole country. That was expensive.